Today we're going to talk about 4 financial matters that I find people in their pre-retirement years are avoiding or pushing off and keep pushing off. And just doing that is going to lead to either less income in the retirement, it's going to lead to stress, feeling unprepared, or potentially even waffling on what their retirement date might be. So today we're going to talk about those 4 financial matters. We're going to maybe share some stories in each, and then discuss actions that you can take so that you don't have those worries. For those that are new to the channel, my name's Scott Sierens. We run a retirement planning and investment management firm where we help people retire, invest, and reduce their taxes to help them maximize what they want their retirement story to be. The first financial matter that I see people continuously push off is taxes. If you've saved a significant amount into your IRAs or 401ks, this would be you. You've essentially taken a tax deduction and you've kicked the tax can down the road. You've pushed off taxes until a later date because those IRAs and 401ks, every time that you take money out, you're going to have to pay income taxes on those withdrawals. And I'm sure if you've listened to some of our other videos, you continuously hear us hound on taxes. And the reason for that is because taxes will most likely be your number one expense in retirement. Now, should everybody switch up what type of account that they're putting their money into? Not necessarily. It really depends on how much you've saved up into your IRAs and 401ks, and what your future taxable income will look like. Now, a big part of that, and what may cost you more in the future, put you in a higher tax bracket in the future, is the required minimum distributions. Or maybe you have a pension coming in, plus the RMDs. It all depends on all of your future income sources. So the biggest action that you could take here is putting together a tax plan. For example, we had just met with a couple where, looking at their tax projection and their tax plan, they had saved a few $1,000,000 into IRAs and 401ks. When we looked at their tax projection, they would potentially be in a higher tax bracket in their future than where they were at today. So continuously putting money in those IRAs, 401ks, pushing off taxes, they were actually putting themselves in a worse position than where they were at today. The other thing that tax plan, tax projection showed us is that if one spouse passed away, most likely the remaining spouse would jump up another tax bracket, meaning the IRS would be taking even more from what they'd worked so hard and saved up. So tax planning is a very key portion of what we put together for all of our clients. A plan is what we put together for all of our clients, but it's a key portion of understanding what you should be doing and where you should be saving your money today. Should you continue to save in the IRA and 401k and push those taxes off? Again, if you've saved up a significant amount, 500,000, $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, $4 million or more into those types of tax deferred vehicles, you should really start putting together a tax plan, because maybe you need to start saving into a different account type, the Roth 401k, Roth IRA, or just into a brokerage account so you're not incurring those high tax rates in your future. The second financial matter that I see people continue to push off, which would really help them with confidence going into their retirement, or having confidence going into their retirement, is understanding their lifestyle needs. You know, a very common question that we get is, will we be okay? Or will I be okay? Can I retire? And my response is, well, how much do you need for retirement? You see, all of your different sources of income when you get into retirement, whether it's a pension or Social Security or your investments, those will only provide so much income. You can only take so much out of your investments and make those investments last. So we can look at all of those different sources and put together an income plan that'll say, here's how much you can have. But if you don't understand how much you need, well then, how are you going to know if it's all going to work out? And so understanding that is a huge part of retirement. And I find that people continue to push it off, either because they do a great job of living within their means, and so they've always been living within their company paychecks, and they've never had to think about that before. But when those company paychecks are no longer coming in, you're now going to those retirement paychecks. So you have to make sure that what you've needed before is still going to work afterwards. So how much do you need on a monthly basis or on an annual basis? And in addition to that, how much do you feel like you'll need for activities, for travel, for things that you want to do in retirement that you weren't able to do before in life? So one of the things that's going to be a key factor to helping you retire, maybe potentially helping you retire earlier, is having a clear understanding of what your lifestyle needs are. Another financial matter that I find that people continue to push off prior to retirement, especially in good market years, is realigning their investments. It's one of those things that, well, frankly, I don't feel a lot of people know enough about investments to know what to do with their investments. And that's okay. That's then where you get help. But what they're doing is they're looking at their investment accounts, their 401ks, their IRAs, and they're saying, wow, in good market years, they're thinking everything's doing great, so don't touch it, leave it alone. But one of the things that you want to do and not push off as you get closer to retirement is you do want to start realigning those investments to align with your retirement plan, align with the future income that you're going to need. You're going to want to start carving funds off of the volatile investments, maybe into something lower with lower volatility. That way that money is there for you and ready for you when you do retire. And now I can also see in this aspect that sometimes people go too conservative. So I'm not saying, hey, you're about to retire, you got to go ultra conservative in your retirement investments. That's not the case. I'm saying have a strategy, because being too much at growth or being 100% at growth as you go into retirement could be very risky, because then what happens if the market does take a downturn in the year that you retire? You left everything at growth. Now everything's gone down a bunch and you have to start making withdrawals while the funds are down. It makes it much harder for those funds to grow back up. So this is one that I find that people continuously push off, a lot of times because they're not necessarily sure what to do with those investments. And in those cases, that's where you may want to reach out for help on what those investments should look like. How should they be allocated? How much should be on the growth side? How much should be on the safer side? But if you're 100% at growth, don't push it off. Start thinking about realigning some of your investments prior to going into retirement. The fourth financial matter that I see people continuously put off is actually putting together a retirement plan. All of these topics that we've talked about today would wrap up into what I would consider a good retirement plan. A good retirement plan would include an income plan, meaning understanding how much can you spend in retirement. An investment plan, a plan with your investments, a strategy that's going to help you get the best return possible that you could, but with the least amount of risk to your retirement paychecks that you're going to need. And then the last is a tax plan. So reducing the taxes that you're going to pay, helping to reduce the taxes that you're going to pay on those IRAs and those 401ks, implementing strategies, because if you're keeping more money with you versus giving it to the IRS, that gives you more money to spend in your retirement. Now, I find a lot of times, unfortunately, people just push this one off, and then they retire, and then they sit down to meet with somebody to go, hey, how do we make all of this work? And doing this in advance, so thinking about it now, not pushing it off, not avoiding it. And I get it. That takes time, that takes work, that takes effort. But all that time, work, and effort, here's what I've seen it lead to for some different people. For some people, I see it leads to them understanding that they can retire earlier than they originally thought. For some people, it means that they recognize that they actually have more money to spend, that their income sources will produce more for them to spend and enjoy on themselves, on travel and activities, or maybe their kids and their grandkids. For some people, it just means spending more time with people that they love. So doing this in advance, this is a huge part about your future. Pushing this one off just means that you're pushing your future off. So whether you DIY or partner with a retirement planner, carve off the time to start working on this financial matter, because it could really help you maximize whatever you want your future retirement story to be. I hope you found this video to be of value and benefit to your retirement plan. And if so, subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you get notified as we're coming out with new videos each and every week. Thanks, and have a great day.